think this goes to what Sandy is talking about. Like, why do people have difficulty managing inside salespeople? Well, number one, I can't even tell you how often I'm like, okay, so what's the vision for the virtual sales team? And they're like, what? Right? So plan first, but also articulate that plan. Like, hey, we have a virtual sales team because this is what we're trying to accomplish. And what that does for you is that the people start to think about, okay, this is how I fit into the rest of the sales organization. And then when we're talking about those expectations, right? So this is what we want you to accomplish. This is the expectations we have for you. And this is how we see you, the activities we think are going to give you the results that we're going for. All of a sudden you've stacked it up. And it's so easy to inspect what you expect if you've communicated that with the team and with everyone else in the organization as well. Because sometimes I think what happens is that the rest of the team has no idea what the inside sales people are supposed to be doing. Like, again, to my example of the woman I'm coaching, like, okay, this isn't someone who's just like rattling through and setting appointments for somebody and they don't know anything about the company. She is fully qualifying this deal for you. So it truly is like pipeline ready when you get to the first appointment. Like, is that what the expectation is? So that the salespeople, right? So the outside sales team can expect that every meeting that they go to has been, pipeline ready. Or is it, okay, we need as many appointments as we can get. So we just want basic qualification. Do they fit into our target market? Not do they need something today, but we want the salesperson to start to kind of articulate why, right? So they're not necessarily ready to be in the pipeline, but it's a great lead because it's somebody who's willing to talk to you about what you might be able to do for them.
I love it. And, Lynn, you talk about, not keeping your vision to yourself, that communication and, so sharing, like if you're on this call and you're like in a Fortune 50, as I was, when I started, I felt like I was really a part, even though I was minuscule, because they communicated with me about what I was doing, but what everything was doing, the whole thing, even though at that time I maybe didn't understand all of it, but I understood that my part was totally relevant to the whole.
Right.
And so if you're the owner listening today, or you're the VP of sales or the director of sales, this is critical, communicating to them the vision that Lynn's talking about for all of it and where they fit and how important that they are for your organization.
I always think about like the gears in a car, right? Like if they're not meshing together, you're misfiring and you're not getting anywhere, or at least you're not getting there as fast as you might be able to if everything were working together. And people want to know what their part is.
Absolutely. And Lynn, I'm laughing. They don't know you, but you guys, she grew up racing cars and doing cars. She actually knows what gears are. Me,
I actually know how to change
the dealership and say, I don't think it's working. Lynn could tell them what's not working. You are fabulous, my dear. One of the other things before we move on with communication, there have been many studies done, Harvard research, many about communication. And 85% of the reason that most things fail or don't turn out like you plan is because they have not been communicated well. So Lynn, thank you so much for this. This is just so powerful. And also I might add on communication, one of the other powerful things about communication that's often overlooked is listening is a kind of communication. And so oftentimes we're so busy talking about things, we're not listening. Like Lynn was giving the example, the woman who'd done all this pre-qualification and, the guy doesn't hear it. It's crazy.
Yeah.